So I want to think about the question, what is discipleship? And it's a huge question uh, that is really posed by people in the church today. It's it's important to ask the question because I think there is kind of consistent agreement on we need discipleship. We need more discipleship. We need to see more people being discipled. We need more people making disciples. I think about our in our own state convention, there's been kind of this combination of evangelism and discipleship, and they really probably should have never been separated. It really didn't make sense to do that, and so it's good that they're together and we think about them together. But what is discipleship? What does it mean to disciple another person? What does it mean to be discipled by a another uh, another disciple? What does that mean? And so I've got a list here I want to think about. When I think about discipleship, I'm always drawn back to the 28th chapter of Matthew. And Jesus gives that command to go to make disciples. So it seems like within Jesus' command to go and make disciples, there is there's kind of the formula for what that means and what that looks like. And so we even see demonstration of discipleship within Jesus' command to make disciples. Okay, so um, go through these kind of quickly. Um, Remember, Jesus has been resurrected. His disciples are, they are, I think, still in shock, but they're coming to him to receive what turns out to be these kind of final instructions. Okay, so a couple of them here. First, verse 16, the disciples obey Jesus. They go to the place that he commanded them. Um, he teaches them as they are obedient to him. So obedience is kind of this first mark of what it means to be a disciple. What is discipleship? So to be a disciple, we are being obedient. But as we think about helping someone to become a disciple, we are teaching them obedience to Christ. So, not obedience to us as the disciple maker, not obedience to some abstract thing, but obedience to Jesus. So, Jesus teaches his disciples within the context of being obedient, not outside the context. So, there is not a kind of separation between their obedience and what Jesus is teaching them. The two are together. If they had not obeyed him, they could not have learned what it meant to be a disciple. So Jesus says, go to this mountain, go to this place. If they had went somewhere else, they would not have been ready to have followed Jesus. They would not have been ready to be connected with him. They would not have been ready to follow him where he desired for them to go had they not obeyed. If we do not obey him, we're not his disciple. If we say, well, we want to follow Jesus, but man, all this stuff he taught is hard and I can't do that and I don't want to do that, I don't want to follow him, then we're not his disciple. It's something different. We're less than a disciple. We're false. We're fake. I mean, that's what we are. So the disciples are in a place to be his disciple and to make more disciples as he's going to command them to do when they obey what he has said to do. Go to this place. So discipleship is not merely imitation. It's not less than imitation, but it's not merely imitation. It is obedience to the commands of God. Now, we could say imitating Christ would make us obedient because that's what he did. But we need to realize that it's doing. It's not simply kind of looking like or knowing about what Jesus has said or what Jesus wants us to do. But it is more than that. It is obeying him. It's obeying his command. Jesus himself is obedient to the Father. So it's imitation, but it's more than just imitating him. It's actually obeying God. It's obeying Christ. And that's how we began being a disciple, is by following him. So in Matthew 28, that's the first thing we see there, is verse 16 is their obedience. We'll look at the next thing when we get back together on this discipleship moment, discipleship vlog, if you will. Thanks for joining us.